think the one thing we can agree is that Fallout does not need a speaking protagonist.
You sure we can have a like a Deathclaw that's basically
It needs what it's getting. What it's getting basically is Hawk.
Hawk.
Oh, whatever his name is. What's that bloke with that Dragon Age 2 bloke?
Oh, Hawk,
Oh,
the character.
God!
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
That's basically what's happening.
Why would you? Why? Why? Everything's going so well. It's Friday. Like, we're all
The 13th.
It's your birthday week, but why would you do that? I don't...
Because that's what's happening. It's speaking character. That means you're going to have to. Your player character, if it's a speaking character, your player character will also have to be will have to be of a certain age and appearance as well to match that voice.
Yep. I've also heard...
once you do that, you can't create your own. You can't really create your own.
It's okay though, because I've heard that the writers are the same people who wrote Amy, like the script for that. So safe hands.
Do you know what? I'm not actually sure whether the writers who wrote Dragon Age 2 are in fact better than the writers who wrote Amy. I wouldn't know because, the story was actually the least of my worries in Amy. I'd like to. Do you know what? I'd really like to slant the story off, but there were so many worse things about that fucking game. Anyway, let's get to the game buzz. Let's do this shit. Hello and welcome to Game Buzz, the weekly series from Dealsbone.com, where we plunge head first into the week's news.
Sploosh.
Splooge. Yeah.
No.
We go right into the danger zone.
No. Danger zone. Yes, sorry.
Paging Dr. Loggins.
Paging Dr. Loggins. I'm Matt Gardner. This is Carl Phillips.
Sup?
And that is John Lester.
Hello.
And right, let's get stuck in to some of the week's news. We're going to start off with some sad news. Play the sad music. That's excellent. We can't get a content ID claim.
Exactly. We can't get picked up by content ID. That's fine.
Yeah, that's my foolproof plan. But all music from now on just get me to go. Yeah. Of course, we are talking about Blockbuster, admittingly.
We are.
So, just want to talk about that while I provide the music?
Yeah. On a serious note, Blockbuster re-entered administration a while back and closed store after store, and they're finally shutting the last 90 shops and are effectively closing down completely in the UK. There's a case to be made that this was a foregone conclusion after they entered administration again. There's a case to be made that they simply couldn't compete with, the on-demand and the internet sort of rental and retailers. But regardless, we just want to wish the best of luck to absolutely everyone, to the 4,000 staffers who are employed, at the beginning of this round of layoffs, and the final 808 who've sadly lost their positions now. Really
Absolutely.
hope that you guys, find new employment quickly, and it's just the timing of this thing.
Oh yeah, that
the
absolutely
timing
sucks.
of this thing is so sad right before Christmas. That really sucks, guys. So
No,
hang in
really
there.
does. Yeah, I mean, there's a Blockbuster that's about 2-3 minutes walk from me, and even when they first got into trouble, I went up there. I even went and supported them. I think it was Halo 4. I pre-ordered from there because I was like, I don't want to see you guys go out because it's really convenient. You're 3-4 minutes away from me, and even though the price was a little bit over what I could potentially pay online, it's the convenience of walking there, and they were always good. Like the staff in there were always great. So it's a real shame. That said, us being deals pwn and all, 90% off all stock. So if you want to be a vulture and head down to the carcass that is Blockbuster, go down this weekend, because come Monday, all of that will be gone.
Entertainment carrion crows swarm.
Yes. I mean, I suppose that's kind of a thing that we should probably point out. But at the end of the day, it is really sad. And it's a shame that the people I got to know up there are going to be out of a job right before Christmas.
It is. It's very sad for personnel as well, sort of on a nostalgic level as well, because across entertainment media, it's not just games as well. Like I remember going to Blockbuster for my film fixes back in the day.
Yeah.
Like it's really sad to see an institution like Blockbuster.
Yeah, we're hoping for a bit of a Christmas miracle on this one. You know, after they lost their backer, and we thought they were safe. You know, halfway through the year, but you never know. I mean, Jessup's came back.
Very true.
So you never know. But as it stands, it's sad to see the high street lose another retailer. Sucks.
We should probably move on from this very depressing tale.
So yeah, that was the sad music. Now we need something, I guess, I don't know, a little bit funky, maybe a little jaunty, because we're going to talk about VGX.
I don't know whether funky would be the right.
Trendy and cool.
Just a long. What about just a long wet fart? Do you think might be more appropriate?
VGX
or yet another
rebranded Spike TV Awards, like the fucking.
Yeah, the X stands for fucking awful. They spelled it wrong.
Every year the
X is silent.
Happens. Every year Jeff Cayley kind of mainlines some drugs, probably allegedly, and
Doritos,
slops himself up for a night with a celebrity. Actually, this time it was Joel McHale who just took the piss.
Oh, it was fantastic. He basically played Jeff from Community, and it was wonderful. In fact, at one point, I honestly thought that the guy who plays Dean Pelton off the show was going to come in dressed up as a monster from The Last of Us and come in and basically be like, hey, looks like I caught some cordyceps, and do a really weird Dean pun, and it'd be just that would have just been amazing. But no, they just had Joel McHale do a joke about wearing adult diapers and just basically just make Jeff feel the most uncomfortable person ever. It was that was what made the show.
Yeah, that was great, but why can't they just get appropriate celebrities?
Never.
Like once.
Why would they do that?
Why can't they once do that?
Because ratings, apparently.
Well,
I don't know. I mean, I mean, you're right. It would have been better had they got a celebrity who knew their stuff. But admittingly, they've already used Zachary Levi, and Felicia Day is probably busy or something. I don't know. Who else are we going to get in?
To be fair, the thing I did like about John McCallum is that he basically just highlighted just how fucking pointless the VGX VGAs are. Like it is the most redundant, reductive program, like fucking thing in the industry. It's so dumb. It plays down to a 90s stereotype. It's so long gone, and with pointlessly awful trailers and oh my god, super awesome reveals that revealed weeks before usually. And
well, you say that, but actually, first of all, there was one trailer that absolutely blew everybody's mind, like one shining golden lovely crown jewel in that crown of shit.
There was but it was a crown of shit.
It was a crown of shit, but it had some sparkly jewels embedded in there. No Man's Sky for one. So a project that we still don't know much about, but basically it's Mirror Moon EP with shiny, gorgeous, lovely looking graphics.
Yep.
And that looks great. A game about exploration. Yeah, it looks halfway between Noctis and Mirror Moon EP. Looks fantastic. If Hello Games, there are 4 of them. If they can actually deliver on this, it's going to be huge. It looks amazing. It's like the must-watch trailer of the week.
Yep.
But we're going to be keeping such a close eye on that, especially once they start announcing platforms. Sony are making some interesting noises, as they always do when something awesome indie-looking pops up. So
we'll see what happens on that front. The interesting thing about Hello Games is, of course, like Joe Danger 2 went multi-platform.
Yeah, released time exclusive on XBLA.
Yeah. So they're clearly up for being bribed one way or the other by platform holders, and this is great. Like that's what we kind of want. We want both Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo, please, to be going. No, come to our platform. Come to our platform. Come to our platform.
And then they can just put it on PC so everyone can play it and pay less for it.
Yay!
Bundle. Fuck yeah. But that's what we want to happen. But yeah, so that wasn't the only piece of news. Telltale, of course, usually turn up to the VGAs and do something cool. This time was no exception. So they're making a Borderlands game and a Game of Thrones game. So that's happening now.
Definitely happening.
Yeah, because that rumor. Sorry, Carl. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know which one I want to be more excited about. I mean, admittingly, we didn't see much about Game of Thrones. It was just like, yeah, we're making it, and it's definitely tying into the TV show, and now the theme tune is stuck in your head. But with Borderlands, Handsome Jack's coming back. I just, oh man, it's just so wonderful. Handsome Jack.
I'm hands down more excited for the Borderlands one. Which surprised me, because at first I was like, oh, Telltale Game of Thrones, that sounds like a perfect match made in heaven. And that was about when the rumour came around. I was like, yeah, that's going to be totally awesome. But the more I think about it, the more I wonder if Telltale... Because the thing is, they have one story setting in a very serious, very deadly universe where you've got to make lots of moral choices and decide who lives and dies in The Walking Dead, which is really great. They have another one of those in...
I thought you were going to say Strong Bad's Cool Game for Attractive.
No. But they have another one of those in The Wolf Among Us, which is really great, and Fables is a great franchise, but is also actually kind of identical in terms of what you're actually doing in that game, and the choices you're making in that game, kind of, with The Walking Dead. And now there's Game of Thrones, another dark, another gritty game world coming along, where you're going to have to make questionable moral choices. Are they all going to... So I'm more excited about Borderlands with its array of weird and wonderful and completely original and unique characters.
I think that's the thing. It's with Game of Thrones, they are tied to an existing universe that has had several years worth of storyline and characters built upon it. Whereas with Borderlands, we know that because Gearbox are involved, it could go in any direction. We don't know whether it's a prequel sort of thing. We don't know whether it's a sequel yet. We have no idea, but we do know that it will be an original story where it could potentially affect the direction of the series as a whole. That's my theory. I
just think as well, the atmosphere of the game is going to be markedly different to those other three, because those are the three. This is because it's tailored to the Game of Thrones TV series.
Yeah.
The other three, they're very dark, gritty, morally ambiguous, life and death sort of stuff. And there's actually not much of a way around that. You can't really make those games incredibly, you can't make them funny. Borderlands is, you can literally do anything in that universe. It's great. Yeah. And as you say, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with that. They are working in conjunction with Gearbox. I'm intrigued by that.
I don't know about you as well, but I feel like Telltale are just the wrong developer for Game of Thrones. Like some people on site said, I would very much like to see Traveller's Tales take on Game of Thrones. I would like to see Lego Game of Thrones. That is a thing I would play. Forget Telltale, Traveller's Tales is
oh my god, right? Some of those scenes in Lego would be hilarious.
Wouldn't that be brilliant? And or perhaps a sort of Cooking Mama style spin-off, because those books are all about food. If you look at those books, half of them is just descriptions of meals, really tasty looking meals, pages and pages of food, and then they had sex, and then they had sex and died.
Yeah.
Next chapter, quails stuffed with hams. So yeah, that's kind of what I want. I'm also thinking we also should stop recording these at lunchtime, because it's always going to come back to food.
This is your fault. You brought up the food.
My only problem with this whole thing is Telltale a while back, before The Walking Dead came out and sort of bolstered their reputation, Telltale were taking on too many licensed projects and were getting lazy. And we got things like, I didn't think Back to the Future was particularly good. Jurassic Park was definitely incredibly mediocre. So was Law and Order. And they got into a real slump where they started because they had so many projects, they just shoehorned really lazy, derivative, kind of boring gameplay into those games. And I hope that doesn't happen again, because the thing is about The Walking Dead, they just had so much time to really polish up that one thing. Make it brilliant. And to be honest, I don't care what they do with Borderlands and Game of Thrones. We've got The Walking Dead Season 2 coming out, which already looks sensational, and The Wolf Among Us. I don't care about any other Telltale series until The Wolf Among Us ends its first run. So Yeah, I hope Telltale don't bite off more than they can chew. These are fun little ideas, but I hope they're going to just put them like on the absolute back burner so they can ensure that each project is quality. That's my one caveat about this.
I completely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I
Because
mean,
it wasn't so long ago that Telltale, they were getting sloppy and they were getting panned, they were getting lambasted.
yeah,
Like Walking Dead saved that, but they've got to keep their eye on the ball, keep the quality up.
there's a lot of pressure on that. Actually, there's a lot riding on Walking Dead season 2 as well. Like, because you could have finished that series perfectly. Actually, you didn't need 400 days. It didn't really need a second season. Like those 5 episodes were so perfectly done. Like really exceptionally done. Like it's brave. It's a brave choice to do a second season. Because if it's crap, it runs the risk of almost tarnishing what came before, sometimes by association. And I really don't want that to happen because it's really good right now. And yeah, if they spread themselves too thin, I agree. We've seen it before. They can create mediocre games.
Yeah, for sure.
All too easily. So yeah, it's gonna be fun finding out.
Yeah, you bet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super great. One game we didn't see at VGX was Fallout 4.
Yes, and lots of people, for some reason, thought that we would. Well, the reason with that they thought that we'd see Fallout 4 was a spectacularly fake teaser site came out called The Survivor. What was it? The Survivor 2199?
Something like that.
Yeah, and the internet went mad for it in a desperate bid for hits. Despite it being just flagrantly out of character. There was so much wrong with that site. I remember we were talking about it and said, I'm just not even going to post this because we're going to look fucking stupid if we do. And lo and behold, it was a massive hoax. But you know what? The guy who did it just did it for a laugh, was quite upfront about it, said, look, I had a bit of money and just wanted to just see how excited people were about Fallout 4 and see if Bethesda would actually admit something. And the response was huge. The response was absolutely massive, and we clearly all want Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is the next-gen game we all want, that we all crave right now.
Yes, please.
And, I still think I've nominated Fallout 3 as the best game of this gen, and I seriously need to play the sequel. But there are some interesting rumours flying around about it now. There are some very interesting little tidbits flying around about it now. Some of which are exciting, some of which are a little bit worrying.
I think that's pretty cruel to say about Boston being a setting. I don't think that's worrying at all. I think
the Boston rumours have been around for months and months now. And we've had another rumour to that on that sort of front. And Boston would seem like a good place to set it because it's close to the MIT. Or the Institute, as it is in the Fallout canon. That's been foreshadowed before. We met that scientist and Harkness from the Institute. So that would seem like a really cool, really fun place to set it. But one of the rumors flying around about it at the moment is that perhaps the protagonist will have a voice this time.
No.
Yeah, I don't like
that.
the sound of that at all. That is something I really, really don't want, because once your character has a voice, you've also then got to. I mean, it's absolutely fair enough. Lots of RPGs, lots of games, yeah, brilliant. We've had any number of fantastic characters over the last few decades who have a voice, but in a Fallout game, the thing about the Fallout games for me is that your character is uniquely yours, and that when they've got a voice, suddenly they have to sort of visually comply and correspond with that voice. It has to make sense. They have to be a certain age. They may even have to be a certain gender. And we end up with Dragon Age 2.
No.
When that happens.
No.
But
Please,
no. Yeah, but what? Bethesda aren't in the habit of making Dragon Age 2. So, well, fingers crossed that this is a scurrilous rumor, but either way, we just need more Fallout 4. It just needs to happen. I'm so excited about it, and it'll be something to play until the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, the
Yeah,
Scrolls
baby.
6. I'm scared for whenever either of those things happen, because it's just gonna. Bethesda is so wonderfully adept at stealing away weeks of my life.
But it's all right though, because you'll be able to enjoy and play and subscribe to the Elder Scrolls Online before that. So you'll be able to get your fix. Did you see that latest trailer where it was lagging out in the trailer?
Yeah.
That was amazing. It's just like, there's gonna be a lot of lag in this game. Outstanding.
Elder Scrolls.
Looks shiny though. Elder Scrolls of Warcraft.
Yep.
Looks alright. But
It does.
I think I'll
plays
probably
okay.
be playing that WildStar game.
Yeah, that other thing that looks awesome.
Can we talk about? We can talk. I can.
Hang on.
talk about that.
Before we go on to WildStar, I just want to I want to quickly go back to the Fallout 4 thing and the idea of the vocal protagonist, because you mentioned Dragon Age 2, and the parallel with BioWare is actually interesting. It comes out in by the time this goes live, you will have seen our top 10 games of the last generation, and you will see that the top 2 RPGs vying for supremacy were Skyrim and Mass Effect. One of which obviously has a mute protagonist. One, of course, has a character protagonist. So it can, like, BioWare has shown that sort of you can have that cake and eat it too. You can have player characters that are both a character and also you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not saying that all characters should be blank slates. I mean, that's outrageous. Like, some of our favourite games of all time are our favourite games because they have strong characters with their own personalities.
No.
That's a good thing.
But the point is that it is possible. It is possible to blend the two.
Yes, you can.
But
you need to put in a lot of work.
Yeah, and
you need to actually You need to actually be bothered to do it.
You do, and it would make it a different game, and it would make the stories different stories, and it would make those emergent moments that we had in Fallout 3 and we had in Skyrim, we had in Oblivion, perhaps slightly less powerful.
Perhaps.
But
if it's a superb character, if it's a superbly realised character, it might have even more impact. You never know.
I just want
We might be more invested. Either way, I just really want it.
This is why so many people bought into that fake site, because ultimately, maybe if we all come together and really wish for something to be true, it will be. That doesn't work like that, but we can always try again.
Yes.
Totally.
Maybe. Still, apparently Fallout 4 is happening, so that's great. It's definitely.
Is it?
No, I used the word apparently.
Apparently.
Allegedly,
it's no more happening than it was. It's no more happening than it was 6 months ago, but it must be happening, and obviously
it's definitely
happening. The games are free on GOG right now, the original games, so go get them.
Actually, by the time this airs,
right? Yeah.
Oh, are they not going to be? Oh, have they only got a certain amount of keys?
Yeah,
well, go.
48 hours where yes.
Well, you should have downloaded them.
Try it anyway.
Yes.
Try it anyway. Go do it.
Left or so. Go get them, because God. Also, can we just give CD Projekt a medal?
Yeah, CD Projekt are just fucking heroes every time. They're just full-time superheroes. I don't know how they do it.
Not only do they have DRM free, just awesomeness, like an awesome time tap into nostalgia in GOG, and an indie platform that's really awesome. But they also make great games. Like, that was another thing that came out, the VGX stuff. The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, it looks so good. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's a site where exchange rate actually works. You go on GOG and it's like, it's not $9 and £9. We actually pay less for it.
They actually use
that exchange rate actually exists. It's a thing on GOG, and they're just absolute heroes. They're just putting out loads of free content. They make great games. They look after their community. Then they inspire loyalty by being nice to us and doing nice things. Why can't more companies do that? I love giving my money to CD Projekt because they deserve it. They've earned it.
Yep. Yeah,
and I'm going to keep doing it.
Money.
Yeah.
Because they give us so much. Oh my God.
That's the thing. You go onto GOG, you get the free Fallout, and you're like, you know what? While I'm here, FTL's £3. Already own it.
Yep. But I just want to have 2 in my hand.
Exactly. 2 in the bush. Yeah, Space Bush.
So yeah, sorry,
Okay.
deep that completely because like super awesome. Do you know what else? Actually, some awesome news this week. Some good news for Microsoft. Some good news for Microsoft, who in the space of 18 days sold 2 million Xbox Ones.
Yeah, that's
Good,
really
good.
good
That's
work.
a lot of consoles.
Well done, Microsoft.
Yeah.
Where-
And actually, the PS4 sold, their figure for 18 days was 2.1 million.
Yeah.
So that's a relatively close gap.
Mhm.
And that's really good news for Microsoft. And you know what? Well done getting here, because you fucked things up so bad in May and then spent a month making everything worse. But you know what? I own one, and 2 million other people own one as well. That's really good work. The launch lineup's really great. I'm looking forward to seeing where this crazy road is going to lead us, and hopefully you'll like update all those little niggling, annoying problems with the operating system that's driving us slowly insane right now.
Yeah.
That would be super awesome. But yeah, well done, Microsoft. Apparently, yeah, it was the fastest selling in terms of consoles sold per day. It was the fastest selling console of the two in the US, though the PS4 was the best selling,
Yeah.
according
But
to NPD.
they're not going to admit
Dizzle.
that, are they?
Sorry?
They're not going to admit that, though, are they? They're just going to be like, yeah, we're talking about Microsoft here. Because
Yeah,
Nathan Nelson always comes out saying, oh, we're going to show you all the stuff. What was it? I think Xbox 360 is the best-selling last-gen console, I think, or something like that. This
Yeah, I
one?
wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, well done, Microsoft. That's good work. But you know, the hard work starts now, really, as it does for all of the consoles now. You got to get more people buying it, and you've got to now absolutely show us that was £430 well spent.
Yep. Like, it's absolutely time for that competition to get ramped up. We want ridiculousness over the next 12 months. We want, like, business deals being cracked down, absurd exclusives coming out of the woodwork. I want to see Aaron Greenberg fucking putting it down, just laying it on, being all like, oh yeah, smack talking his ass off. That's what I want to see.
And
like,
delivering
and
on it.
Yeah, delivering would be the main thing, yes.
And
I
yeah,
prefer that.
lots of delivery. Nice, some nice delivery. Would be great.
Exactly. It's all in the delivery.
Oh, it's gonna be fun in games though.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so is that it? I think that might be it.
All news.
Yeah, that's generally it.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
We've been playing a few last great games. Carl, you got loads of wild stuff on site and still coming.
Yes, lots and lots of WildStar goodness.
Yeah.
Do check that out. Hit subscribe on our YouTube channel.
I'll tell you, I'm really enjoying that beta. Carl will tell you all about it because it's just so colourful. I'm having trouble crystallising my thoughts about that. I'm like, it's a game that let me play as an evil Duracell bunny with a shotgun and an artillery robot.
Which is all you want,
Maybe
really.
what I've always wanted.
Did you go for the engineer?
I never knew it. Yeah,
Of course you went for the engineer.
Yeah, I'm a mature engineer.
Nice.
Turns on a mech suit at any time.
Oh,
Yep.
What?
I got a 2. Yeah, it's got a 2-minute cooldown, but it's pretty tasty.
Oh, man.
Also, yeah, lovely little rabbit.
I still haven't worked out what class I'm going to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many good ones.
This evening.
I mean, it's the fact that, you know, you can be a healer and still be absolutely badass, which is, I mean, yeah, okay, some healers did seem pretty cool, but this one, you know, it's just so mobile. You have the medic that can get up in your face to heal you. Just like right up in your face.
Taste my medicine!
Taste my medicine. He is, as I have said quite a few times, it's now let the healers get up into the danger zone! Because they're up in the danger zone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work that out, because if you're a medic and John's an engineer,
I can create another tune or another role. That's no problem.
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool. But I mean, it plays really, really well. I mean, we can only talk about the first 15 levels so far, but there's just so much to do, even in those first 15. And the combat. I mean, John, I'll be interested to see what you make of all of this, and especially Matt, who hasn't played an MMO in fear of being sucked in. But to me, it feels more Twitch-based, so like more action-based than other MMOs would, because of the way that the telegraphs work. But
yeah, it's true. Though I
yeah.
find myself looking more at the templates and the telegraphs more than I'm actually really concentrating on the action, though. It reminds me a lot of playing the old Warhammer games and getting out one of those flamer templates every few seconds and pointing it around and seeing ending up. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a really fun. It's really fun. God, it's really fun. It's really fun. It's fun.
It is. It is. There's a lot to do, and it's constantly coming up with stuff like I don't know whether you've come across this yet, John, but the whole sort of like double kill, triple kill.
Oh yeah, like I've got
it goes uber kill, super kill.
I've had I was rampaging around killing those little sheep things at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were succumbing to my ridiculous pulse
It
shotgun.
just encourages you to just slaughter everything. It's just wonderful.
Yes, it does.
It really does. Yes, anyway, yes, content on site. Check out videos and preview coming soon.
Yep. One last thing, just before we go, you will have no doubt noticed our Games of the Generation series running this week. We do have a space on the site for you guys to submit your own top 30s, and we will be collating all the results into a big, fat community top 50 Games of the Generation. Deadline for that is Wednesday, so do get those votes in. And yeah, looking forward to seeing how that turns out as well. We're going to create two. We're going to create one that's just like community and one that's community and staff. And yeah, see how that goes down. It should be interesting. It should be very, very interesting indeed. But yes, thank you very much for listening. We will be back with our last Game Buzz of the season at the end of next week, when we'll take a look back on everything that's happened this year. But until then, yeah, do hit subscribe. Do keep watching the site. And yeah, thanks very much for all your support over the last 12 months. We'll catch you next week, guys, for the last one. Bye-bye.
Bye.